Roger, and it gives them all kinds of opportunities in their running game. We know that Boston would like to run with the basketball. Anytime they force a turnover and anytime they block a shot, they go in that Celtic tradition of that green and white and they blitz it up the floor.
If you look at both games, 16 block shots rather, and 45 turnovers committed. As you see the matchups there, and of course the one we keep our eye on, Maxwell, who get help from McHale, and also, as we mentioned at the top, Trent Tucker in the starting lineup, but I'm sure we'll see Ray Williams before the evening's over.
Ray Williams, a very key player, coming off the bench.
There's Bernard King. Forget it when he's on that side of the court.
When he gets in that left lane, he's absolutely unstoppable. Tremendous transition player.
Knicks get on top early. Parrish posting up high. Bernard King guarding Larry Bird, and that might have a lot to do with his numbers the last two games, having to be concerned with Bird's offense, as Dennis Johnson misses the outside jumper and King gets the rebound.
Johnson's certainly not a good perimeter jump shooter. He just gives you so many other positives on the floor, especially on a defensive end.
Sparrow wide open from 20, in and out, and Tucker the rebound.
The Knicks need a solid performance from their backcourt, Roger. Their backcourt has been very inconsistent.
Sparrow has started more games at guard than any other New York Knicks guard. As a matter of fact, the last 50 of the season. Sparrow from the foul line. In and out. Robinson the rebound. The miss. And a foul inside. Foul's going to be on Bill Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright certainly has developed into a little bit more aggressive as a player. We took a look at Casey Jones. We have contrasting styles in coaches. We have one that's a dictator, Lute UB Brown, and we have another coach that is a very low-keyed personality.
Henderson spins the shot, and the foul called by Gerald Gerritsen. It's going to be on Rory Sparrow. You know, Henderson had a fine game in Game 2 in Boston. Casey Jones was telling me before the game that he's been very pleased with the play of Gerald Henderson in the playoffs, coming off that hamstring injury at the end of the season.
Henderson has good quickness on the floor. He's not what we would call a real creator or an innovator, Roger, who's going to manufacture opportunities for the team as he misses the first free throw. He's more or less what I'd classify as a 1.5 as opposed to being a true point guard.
There you see his playoff numbers, 51%, 73 from the foul line. He hits 1 of 2, and Henderson will pressure Sparrow, and King will bring it up.
Boston wants to go full court pressure to create some tempo. They want to go up and down the floor. The Knicks want to play more or less in a 40-foot area.
King on the other side, in and out, tipped around, and Parrish gets the rebound. You know, they've talked about Bernard King and the number of points he's scored, the number of shots he's taken so far in these playoff games, as Maxwell takes it inside and hits it, and he has been a forgotten man, averaging just over 7 points a game. Offensively, I should say forgotten, but defensively he's been there. But McHale and Bird have scored 109 of the 226 Celtic points so far in these two games. Tucker, the miss. Parrish tips it over to Henderson. Stripped away by King, and Sparrow comes up with it. Now Bird deflects it. And it'll be New York Knicks basketball.
Interesting in doing research for this game, the Knickerbockers chart deflections, Roger. And when they chart deflections, it means they're playing aggressive basketball, putting pressure on the ball. And whenever they create 30 deflections, they have always won. In this series, they've only created 20 deflections.
Knicks have hit just 1 of their first 5 shots. And of course, that was the opening layup by Bernard King, who has it on top. No basket. 3-second violation called by John Vanek. Vanek and Gerald Gerritsen, the officials in this game.
Cedric Maxwell does a great job of bodying up on Bernard King, trying to neutralize his great power on the post, denying him the basketball, cutting off passing lanes to the interior.
Bird shooting 56% so far in the playoffs. Hits that one. You know what, Dick? The last 2 years, he's shot 42% from the floor. He is really lighting up in these playoffs in 83-84.
He's a superstar, and he's rising to the occasion against Bernard King. He looked at King that time. He says, get away, Bernard. I'm going to show you why I'm the MVP of basketball.
Johnson giving help inside, and it counts. Fouls on Parrish. And I think this is what the Knicks would like to do early, is go in, establish Cartwright, and try to get Parrish in foul trouble.
It would create another cylinder in terms of offensive productivity. They go down inside the Bill. Bill spins. He posts up strong. He leans in with his body and gets good inside power position for the power layup.
80% free throw shooter this year, the best of his career since coming out of the University of San Francisco. He's got 3 points now.
Excuse me, I don't believe, Roger, some of those critics that say they're a one-man team. Bill Cartwright certainly has some talent, and they have a few other players that can play in this league.
Bird, the bounce pass to Maxwell, and he missed the layup, and Tucker will bring it down to the other end. Celtics back on the D as Sparrow pulls up and hits.
That's part of the New York Knickerbocker running game where they get it to their trailer. Sparrow, the trailer. He's the fourth option. They reverse the ball to him. Wide open, and they get a deuce.
7-5. Knicks on top by 2. 6:53 left to go. Opening period. Parrish in and out. Tipped around. Henderson comes up with it. No basket. Vanek calls the foul on Cedric Maxwell.
UB Brown has a system, Roger. He classifies it in 4 phases of the game as we look at Casey Jones. He wants aggressive basketball, and he says that comes from offensive rebounding, block shots, forcing turnovers, and stealing a basketball. And right now, the Knicks are playing very aggressive on a defensive end.
They're attacking the glass much better on the offensive boards than they have in the first 2 games. Truck Robinson misses the shot outside. Henderson. Dennis Johnson. The baseline jumper from 15 won't go, and Truck Robinson with the rebound. Quickly to Sparrow. Knicks will push it up with a 3-on-3. Sparrow and in.
It looked to me like Rory took another step, but UB Brown said, I love it. I thought they missed that call. It looked like a little traveling music here at the Big Apple.
Casey Jones was calling for a 20-second timeout. Celts didn't see it. And the whistle as Maxwell took it to the hole. Foul's going to be on Leonard Truck Robinson, and that will be his first. And now the Celtics want the 20-second timeout.
Truck Robinson and Ray Williams have to be key players to the New York Knickerbockers. They've been very inconsistent all year long. Ray certainly was looked upon to be a big scorer. He has not really created the kind of numbers offensively that the Knicks would like, and Truck Robinson has taken a step backwards in his progress and in his growth as a player. He just is no longer the player he was when he played with Washington and with New Orleans.
Well, his best year was back in '77 with New Orleans when he averaged over 22 points, better than 15 rebounds a game. This is Sparrow.
Sparrow coming up in transition. There he is now with a change of direction. There's a little, I think he takes the extra step. He hangs, changes it from the right to the left, which creates the opportunity for him to go down the lane. He converts it and gets the basket.
This program is authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
I'm all excited watching that matchup of King and Bird. We're looking at the 2 premier forwards in all of basketball.
Maxwell working on Robinson, and Truck Robinson another rebound. Here comes King. Bird says forget it when he gets on that side. And in.
Bernard gets that shooter's touch. He just loves that left lane. You know when you're scouting that he is coming down the left, but he has that great quickness, and now he has that tremendous face-up jump shot, which makes him such an outstanding threat offensively.
11-5, 6-point Knick lead, and Bird step back in and out. Nobody to rebound, and here is a 3-on-2. Trent Tucker, and in.
If I were Casey Jones, I'd get a timeout. Right now, the New York Knickerbockers are beating him up and down the floor and beating him in both phases of the game, offensively and defensively.
12-5. Make that 13-5 as DJ takes it inside and in. Dennis Johnson, a strong move to the hoop that time, and for DJ, his first 2 points.
Clutch player and a great acquisition by Boston, getting him from Phoenix. He's been that staple to this team defensively.
Offensive foul is going to be called on Truck Robinson as he came across the lane, got the ball over to Bernard King, but in the process shoved Larry Bird out of the way. And the Celtics going to take a timeout right now with 6:51 left to go. Opening period, Knicks lead the Celtics 13-7. 14 world championships, the Knicks 2 world championships, and Dick, a great rivalry back through the years, and especially in the early 70s. And you see the Celtics, 10 players with a total of 459 playoff games. The Knicks, 11 players with 275 playoff games. That includes, of course, this playoff season.
Roger, it's been very quiet in New York. The Big Apple, certainly the mecca in terms of PR, public relations, media. They need a great franchise here in New York for the NBA. New York certainly hasn't given the Big Apple the kind of basketball success other than the Red Holzman era back in the early 70s that you alluded to. And I feel personally that the accomplishment of Red Auerbach winning 10 world championships and John Wooden's championships at UCLA are two of the greatest accomplishments in all of coaching.
Louis Orr has checked into the game now for the New York Knicks, number 55. As Truck Robinson with a couple of quick fouls and immediately a lot of pressure. Maxwell gets it to Parrish. DJ is waving for it on the corner. They'll go to Bird instead. Larry will take it over Cartwright and hits. Larry Bird averaging over 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists through these 6 playoff games. And right now the Knicks with a 13-9 lead.
Celtics did a good job reversing the ball out of the trap for the open jumper for Larry Bird.
I'll tell you, Henderson and Johnson have done a good job defensively. They've come up with 9 steals between them in that game number 2 in Boston as Cartwright takes it in on Bird and hits it.
Cartwright recognizes the mismatch with Larry Bird checking him and shoots right over the top of Larry defensively.
Louis Orr match it up on Cedric Maxwell. Bird gets king in the air, the 10-footer, and hits. Larry Bird now with 6 points.
Larry Bird ran what we call a turnout. He comes off the screen. He moves so well without the basketball, Roger. That's one of his greatest assets, movement without the ball.
Doesn't look like that ankle's bothering him too much. He did practice yesterday for the Celtics. King and in.
That's the position on the floor he likes to establish. Once he catches the ball down in that box, Roger, just put the X in your book and put that deuce down. It's automatic.
Parrish, Tucker got a piece of it, and traveling is called as double team that time. Cartwright from behind, Tucker pressure from the side, and the turnover goes to the New York Knicks. They lead at 17-11.
When we're talking about Bernard King, he has the unique ability to change his shot in the air to wherever the defensive player puts pressure, he can adjust his shot. It's amazing, his quickness and his release.
Knicks have made 5 in a row now. They're shooting 61% as Orr takes it in with 5 on the shot clock. Misses. Loose ball comes down and Henderson picks it up. Both Bird and Bernard King with 6 points in the game as Parrish will take it from 15 and hits it. First 2 points for Robert Parrish.
He certainly has been a consistent player all year long. Other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's been so consistent. Moses had an up and down kind of year. Parrish has played just brilliant basketball in a post, just like Lampier did with the Detroit Pistons.
Bird guarding Cartwright. And it counts. Now, they've had that mismatch the last couple of times down, Dick. Why?
They have a mismatch because defensively in their screening, they're forcing switches on the floor. And whenever that mismatch happens, Bill Cartwright's certainly taking advantage. They go down into Big Bill. He said, Larry, you got to be kidding. You can't check me down here in the low post. I'm 7'1" and I have a great touch.
Cartwright with 7 points. And he can make it 10 by completing this free throw right here.
He's been maligned by a lot of critics in his early days with the New York Knicks, but he's developed under the UB Brown system. He's become a much more aggressive player, and he's been a scorer in that lane, and I think he's been a solid performer.
2013, they used to call him Invisible.
Knicks are looking to trap out of this. There's the trap.
Maxwell gets it to Bird. The rainbow won't go, and King the rebound. Releases it to Sparrow. 3-on-2. And deflected out of bounds by Gerald Henderson.
That hurts, Roger. When you come down in a 3-on-2 situation and you have the opportunity to create and to score and the numbers are your way, you got to get that deuce.
Checking into the game now, Kevin McHale, and this has been the New York Knicks destroyer. So far in the series, he's hit 23 of 28 from the floor, averaging over 24 points a game.
Not too popular with fans because he said the Knicks are in the grave. He said we're ready to put them away.
Quinn Buckner is also in the game now for the Boston Celtics. McHale got a piece of that from behind, and Buckner will bring it down. 3-on-2 break. McHale on the wing, and he is hammered by his former college teammate from the University of Minnesota, Trent Tucker.
He doesn't waste any time getting out in the lane. He gets out in transition. As I've said time and time again, when I did the Vital Academy Awards, Roger, he has to be without question the best 6th man in basketball.
Hubie Brown giving directions from the side to the New York Knicks says he's got to be scratching his head about how the Celtics were able to take apart his press in the first 2 games, and that's what McHale did in game 2 as he misses the free throw. McHale has not been shooting the ball that well from the free throw line in these playoffs.
He's had great games against the Detroit Pistons and against the New York Knickerbockers because those clubs cannot match up with him when they go to their bench. He just has too much size. He has the ability to run the court and has an outstanding turnaround jump shot.
2014, Knicks by 6, just over 4 minutes to go. Bird matches up on Orr now. McHale on Cartwright. And immediately a whistle. Foul's going to be on Kevin McHale. This is one of the strategies of the New York Knicks, trying to get the inside people in foul trouble, specifically Parrish, but the Celtics are protecting Parrish as best they can with help defense, aren't they, Dick?
The New York Knicks believe in a power offense, as you just said. They want to go to the interior as they establish right there, going into Bill Cartwright for the turnaround jump shot.
Cartwright now with 12 points, and Vanek blows the whistle immediately at the other end. The foul's going to be on Louis Orr. Team fouls, Celtics with 4, Knicks over the limit.
Louis Orr, usually a solid player in terms of, he goes back, a throwback to the olden days. He does everything on the floor fundamentally just very, very proper. UB Brown now making a substitution, talking to Ray Williams, who they have to have a great game from.
Tucker will come out. Ray Williams checks in. I've got to correct myself, Dick, because I said McHale had not been shooting that well from the free throw line. That is wrong. He came in 19 of 22, 86%, and he's now hit 2 out of 3. At the end of the regular season, he was not shooting particularly well. Over the last 30-40 games, just about 64%.
Certainly responsible for the Celtics coming in here with Uncle Mo. I call Uncle Momentum on their side. They've won 15 of their last 17 games, including the 5-1 mark in the playoffs.
Deflected out of bounds by Larry Bird as Sparrow came busting down the court. It appears as though the Knicks are in a more up-tempo game, and they're really trying to run with the Celtics.
The Knicks are playing very aggressive basketball in both areas, offense and defense.
Orr misses it. Boy, Bird did a super job that time. He couldn't get to the basketball, but he screened Cartwright out so that he couldn't get to it. But Orr comes up with a steal. Sparrow wide open from 18, misses, and McHale the rebound, releases to Dennis Johnson. Buckner's down court, and DJ finds him. Dangerous pass, but Parrish able to take it away from Bernard King.
Celtics with their running game, get their big guys in transition. You saw McHale trying to post up down in the low box. They throw it right over the top to the big Robert Parrish, and he converts it with no problem at all.
22-18, Knicks with a 4-point lead and just over 3 minutes to go. Opening period from Madison Square Garden in New York. Game 3 as Louis Orr misses and Robert Parrish has it stripped away by Ray Williams, and it will be Celtics basketball.
The Knicks reverse the basketball and get good ball movement in their offense to get the ball to Louis Orr. And what they're trying to do, they want Larry Bird to check the guy that's playing the ball because he's the best defender in the NBA in rotating and playing in the lane and what I call help defense.
Timeout on the floor. The Knicks lead the Celtics 22-18 with 2:58 left to go in the opening period from Madison Square Garden in New York. UB Brown, his coaching staff, Rick Pitino and Richie Adebato, who's a former assistant to Dick Vitale when he was coaching the Pistons. There's the playoff appearances, and as I mentioned earlier, the Knicks have lost 10 straight Eastern Conference semifinal games. So far, 8 rebounds apiece for each team. Knicks with a couple of offensive boards. The Celtics not. Dick, sometimes you use terminology that myself and the common folks out there, we don't know what's help. Talking about help defense and Larry Bird.
Help defense means when he's playing the man that doesn't have the basketball, he roams in the lane. This guy used to give some help defense. When Casey Jones played for the Celtics, he was a defensive stalwart. But Larry Bird is probably one of the best help defensive players in basketball in that he's always anticipating, reading what the offense is going to do, and closes off the passing lane.
Gerald Walker has checked into the game now, a prolific defensive player. They get it down to McHale as they go over top of the press, and he is hammered.
As soon as Darrell Walker comes on the floor, the Knicks immediately go to their 2-2-1 zone press. That if you get the ball in the middle of the floor, Roger, it becomes a 1-3-1 zone trap.
Foul was on Ray Williams, his first, and Kevin McHale will go to the line. Now, one of the problems in the first 2 games, Dick, with QB's second unit, the defensive unit, is that they really haven't been close enough to make the press effective.
The press has not been effective because once the Celtics get the ball in bounds, it's very difficult to trap the way the Celtics are spreading the floor. Also, the New York Knicks have not been to the foul line enough. They run their press after converting a lot of free throws.
Walker blocked by McHale. Bird releases to Buckner, who pushes it up in a hurry. McHale underneath with the alley-oop off the glass. And that was a design play. Now, Buckner did not take a shot. He saw the only way he could get the ball to Kevin McHale was sending it off the glass, and McHale was fouled on the play.
Buckner looks at the statistician. He said, hey, don't give me a shot on that. I don't want my percentage to go down. I was deliberately throwing a pass off the glass.
Foul was on Ray Williams, who picks up his second. Kevin from Hibbing, Minnesota, and he's got those 10,000 lakes in Minnesota. The cold water, it just runs through his veins. He feels no pressure, does he, Ben?
He was in a locker room before the game, and he was studying, I couldn't believe it, he was studying videotapes of Bernard King, and he was commenting on a couple fouls that were called against him. He said, no way did I touch him.
Celtics have pulled to within one, 22-21, and the whistle looked like Dennis Johnson reaching in from behind.
The Knicks certainly are demonstrating early in this game that they're going to more people than just Bernard King. I think personally, Roger, you have to have more balance on the floor than specifically going to one guy who's going to get you 40 every night, because when that cylinder breaks down just a little bit, you might as well go to the locker room, take the shower, and count the L and go home.
Well, so far they have gone to Cartwright. He has 12 points and make it 13 now. The official score with a correction. King with just 4 points. Cartwright now with this free throw can make it 14 and give the Knicks a 3-point lead.
If he scores this, look for full court pressure, the 2-2-1 zone trap. Here it comes. Darrell Walker is designing it. He's pointing. Watch the trap if the ball comes to the sideline. Here comes Walker trying to lead him into a trap. There comes the trap.
Buckner wide open on top. He misses it. Parrish the offensive rebound. He misses it. Battle underneath. And it's going to be Celtics ball off Louis Orr. Checking into the game right now for the New York Knicks will be Marvin Webster, and Bill Cartwright will get a rest. You know, Webster will be an answer to a trivia question one of these days, Dix. His career stats, he has almost as many rebounds as he does points.
He just doesn't score, doesn't look for a shot inside, and hasn't developed as an offensive player. But he gives you a lot of size, Roger, and you can't teach 7 feet.
No, you can't. You tried to several times, I know.
Never worked.
Orr got in trouble, dropped it back. Williams picks it up and hits.
That's the kind of player they thought they had when they got Ray Williams. A spectacular, great body time, hanging in the air.
Might have missed a travel on Bird. Cross court to Dennis Johnson. Very aggressive Knicks defense. Parrish inside, and Daryl Garrettson says no basket. 3-second violation.
Now, you're not insinuating that that man, the lead official, Daryl Garrettson, missed a walk-in violation? Daryl said, who, me? I'm perfect.
Nick, I didn't say that. I just said the fans here at Madison Square Garden felt that a traveling violation might have been missed. Don't get me involved with your dispute with Daryl Garrettson, as Ray Williams gets his second hoop, and it's 28-21, so the Celtics had cut it down to 1. The Knicks have moved it back to a 7-point lead.
That's the kind of offense they need out of Ray Williams.
Stripped from behind by Ray Williams, and they're going to call the foul on Marvin Webster.
We want to send our sympathies out to Ray Williams and his family. He just lost his sister. His sister just passed away, and Ray missed the last basketball game, and we send our condolences to Mrs. Williams and her family. There's the head fake, the pump fake. Williams comes from behind, catches him on the wrist. Parrish with that stare.
Bernard King has come out. Ernie Grunfeld has checked into the game now. Bernard's college teammate at Tennessee, and that's what Robert Parrish did in game 2. 18 points, 11 rebounds so far in the playoffs, over 15 points and 12 rebounds a game.
I wonder if we're ever going to see a smile out of Robert. If you think if they win the world championship, he would just lay a smile on us one time.
Oh, he did. Back in '81 when they won it, he had a big smile on his face. But it's all business on the hardwood there.
He can play for me anytime he'd like, and he wouldn't have to smile. And if he played for me, I wouldn't be sitting with you, Roger.
Quentin Buckner fouls Ray Williams. First foul on Buckner. And Cedric Maxwell will check back into the game. Larry Bird will sit down. And this is a substitution pattern for Casey Jones to give, or excuse me, Parrish is going to come and sit down. But what Casey has been doing is taking either Bird or Parrish out with like a minute to go in each period, and then giving them that rest in between, so they get about 4 minutes of rest there.
They can match up a little bit better now with Parrish out of the lineup. When Parrish and McHale are on the floor as a tandem, they present so many problems because of their great size.
Knicks now 5 of 5 from the foul line. The Celtics are 9 of 12 so far. And I know after game 2, Hubie was pleading his case about the foul situation, how they were hammering Bernard King and Bill Cartwright.
You think Hubie cries once in a while about the officiating? He loves all officials. He's like me. I love Daryl Garrettson.
30-23, 7-point Knicks lead.
There's the trap on a wing. There's their pressure.
Bird throws it away. Walker comes up with a steal. Louis Orr and in.
Just a tremendous play by the rookie, Darrell Walker. Arkansas superstar just makes a great defensive play and converts into a...
All right, but Bird quiets you down in a hurry. Larry with 8 points.
Larry didn't give me a chance to talk about the play by Walker. It was so superb.
Dick, as fast as you talk, this game is faster.
I'm like the guy in Federal Express commercial, huh?
That's right. 32-25.
Knicks open up the floor. They got a one-on-one situation for Ray Williams. He wants to take Dennis Johnson by himself.
14 and 6 on the respective clocks, and Vanek calls the foul on Dennis Johnson. That will be his second.
Dennis runs over to John Vanek and he says, John, I didn't do anything. I just grabbed his wrist a little bit, and don't you know that I made the all-defensive team 5 times? There's only one other player to achieve that in the backcourt. His name was Clyde Frazier.
Folks remember him here at Madison Square Garden.
I'll never forget the game back in '69 and '70 when Willis Reed limped out of the locker room for the 7th game against the Lakers, and they won the championship with that bad knee as Ray misses the first foul. And Roger, I was here, and it was an unbelievable emotional moment watching this city just erupt and just be captivated by this Knick team.
What was on this day back in 1970, DeBusschere had to come in and play center as Reed was hurt against Chamberlain. And the Knicks beat the Lakers. 8 seconds left to go, first period. Dennis Johnson steps in. Oh, bad shot right there. Marvin Webster. 1 second. And the New York Knicks done a pretty good job here in this first period.
The Knicks have played solid defensive basketball and have really created a lot of fast break opportunities for themselves, and have gotten good shot selection out of their offense, and most of all, they've had balance offensively, not just a Bernard King show.
So the New York Knicks have jumped out to an 8-point lead after 12 minutes of play here at Madison Square Garden, 33-25, and NBA playoff action on ESPN will continue after this. There you see that the Celtics have outscored the Knicks in 7 of the 9 quarters in this series, but in the first period of this game, Boston shooting just 42%, New York 52%. Boston out rebounding New York 12-11. Grunfeld, Orr, Ray Williams, Walker, and Webster, the second unit in for the Knicks. Scott Wedman has also checked in for the Boston Celtics.
This is the Knicks pressing unit. They're looking to pressure the basketball, create some turnovers. They have the guy protecting in the back, and Marvin Webster to reject her.
Wedman works himself free and hits it. Scott Wedman earns some playing time down the stretch for the Boston Celtics due to injuries to Gerald Henderson, and he has been a valuable player for K.C. Jones as he is capable of hitting that outside shot.
He's played with a lot more confidence, and he's a very flexible player.
Ray Williams misses. Buckner comes away with it. Celtics will push it up. Traveling violation called on Quinn Buckner.
Quinn Buckner really is not an up-tempo kind of player. He's more or less a good, structured offensive player. K.C. Jones wants to get a little bit more in their transition. They're not running the basketball like they did in their first 2 games.
Gerald Walker has it stripped away by Buckner. He gets it to Bird. Buckner hits the deck. Wedman will pull up for the pop and hits it. Scott Wedman has hit the first 2 shots of the second period, and right now it's 33-29 Knicks.
He was an all-star at one time when he played with Kansas City and Cleveland. Came over here, sat on a bench, didn't get any PT playing time, started to get it, and now is playing with some confidence.
Inside of Louis Orr, over Maxwell and in. Louis Orr with his second hoop. Well, the Celtics push it up in a hurry, don't they, Dick?
They run the ball up the court, trying to constantly put pressure on the defense.
Now, Ray Williams has got to guard Scott Wedman. He's given away about 5 inches there, and Grunfeld guarding Bird. Maxwell has it taken away by Orr. Loose ball, Bird gets it. He's got to drop it off, and Ray Williams finally comes up with it.
Very sloppy basketball by both teams, really not executing and getting good balance on the floor.
Bad miss by Ray Williams, and Maxwell the rebound. Grunfeld, there must be some wet spots because everybody's falling down. The miss by Wedman, he follows his own miss, puts it up with the left hand. Oh, and McHale is just hammered by Grunfeld.
That's an absolute flagrant foul. I mean, he just mugged him. Absolutely a street mugging. McHale just walks to the... You take a look. There's the miss. Nobody blocks out. Grunfeld forgets to block out on Wedman. There's the shot up above. There comes McHale. I mean, he just tackles him, and then he finishes him off by throwing him to the deck.
Maybe Ernie's looking for a shot in the United States Football League when his basketball playing days are over.
I had a great time before the game, sitting in the locker room at 5 o'clock with Ernie Grunfeld, and we were sharing some stories about 1977 when he played with Bernard King down in Tennessee. He said that I've never seen King play like he's playing now.
McHale has had nothing but free throws, giving him 7 points. Robert Parrish has checked back into the game, and Larry Bird will sit out.
Kevin McHale created quite a stir this summer when they thought he'd be wearing a New York Knickerbocker uniform. Red Auerbach said, "Hey, New York, you're not doing that to me." And he went out and he chased the Knicks free agents, Marvin Webster, Rory Sparrow, and Sly Williams, gave them mega bucks. Ultimately, the Knicks matched it, and they got big dollars, and they should thank Red Auerbach for the kind of money they're making.
Grunfeld, the follow away, and he hits it. Ernie Grunfeld.
Ernie was part of the Bernie Ernie show at Tennessee, and he shows why, but he posts up inside and shoots that little jump shot.
Parrish finally gets it to Buckner as Walker's all over the place. He's like an octopus. 7 on the shot clock. Stripped loose inside. The call by John Vanek, and the foul is going to be on Ray Williams, and that is his 3rd.
Good call, Roger. When you talk about Darrell Walker just rotating all over the floor, he can afford to do that as Trent Tucker comes on the floor because he's playing Quinn Buckner, and Buckner's not really a threat deep with the jump shot.
So Ray Williams will sit down. Also checking into the game, Gerald Henderson, and Quinn Buckner gets a rest. Tucker will guard Wedman now. Orr's on McHale, and they'd like to take advantage of that matchup. 3 people around McHale. He finds the open man. Henderson hits it.
That's called in basketball inside-outside maneuver. You dump the ball inside, the double down comes, throw it back outside to the perimeter, and Henderson finishes it off in clinic style.
37-33, 4-point New York lead as they have led throughout the majority of this game. Wedman now outside on Tucker. Walker stops and misses. Parrish the rebound.
That's the major liability of Darrell Walker. He's just not a good shooter. He plays a little bit out of control. I've said from day one, I don't agree that he is a point guard. He is really a number 2 guard.
McHale wants the ball inside, and he is surrounded by 3 players when they try to go inside to him. Foul's going to be on Louis Orr, and on Orr, that's his 2nd, as Bernard King and Bill Cartwright check back into the game. Walker and Webster will sit down. Dick, when the Celtics do get a rebound, I noticed in the last play that Marvin Webster, his one job after Parrish did get the rebound, was just to put a hand right there and not let Robert throw the outlet pass.
That's one of the ways to try and stop the initial phase of a fast break. Jam the rebounder. Don't allow him to get the ball up the court.
Timeout on the floor with 8:44 left to go in the first half. The Knicks with a 4-point, 37-33 lead. Horse racing predictions.
Hey,
I got to go with Swale, all right?
We got some thoroughbreds on this floor, and King and Larry Bird, believe me, they are thoroughbreds who can run without fear.
McHale, the turnaround shot, and he nails it. That is his first field goal of the game, but he has 10 points. So far, Dick, in this period, Celtics out-rebounded New York 5-zip. Parrish leads the Celtics with 5 boards. Tucker trying to drop it to Cartwright, knocked away, and Maxwell will get it to Henderson. Wedman on the side will pull up from 16, in and out. McHale the offensive rebound, can't get it back up and in, and Louis Orr will send it to Rory Sparrow. Tucker wide open. You can't give him that shot, but he misses it.
The Knicks have turned the ball over all season at a rate of 19 turnovers a game. That's the 2nd worst in the NBA. And it's really difficult to understand that because they're such a computerized team who really have discipline on the floor, yet their guards just constantly turn the ball over against pressure. Parrish
misses. The rebound by Bernard King gets it out to Rory Sparrow. Cartwright from 10 feet. In and out. Maxwell the rebound.
That drives a coach absolutely bananas when you get the numbers, the 3-on-2, the 4-on-1, 4-on-2, and especially at this level where it says NBA, not CYO on their jersey, you expect them to convert.
No call. Maxwell is hammered. Cartwright gets it down to Sparrow. King and in.
Oh, that slam jam, bam, Bernard King style, and a rock and roll in the garden.
Folks, if you didn't guess, Dick liked that play, and King has 6. Henderson working on Sparrow, leans in for the shot, and it counts. Gerald Henderson with his second hoop of the period, and he'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play as Leonard Truck Robinson will check back into the game, and Louis Orr will sit down.
Credit that basket to Casey Jones on the sideline. They made that call. They went to a 1-4 setup. They isolated Henderson in a one-on-one situation. Hubie Brown saying, let's get into some good, solid offensive sets.
Larry Bird will check back into the game right now, and Cedric Maxwell will sit down.
Gerald Henderson on the line, one shot.
I know a lot of guys don't agree with me when I selected Casey Jones as the coach of the year. They all talk about the great talent that the Celtics have, Roger, but he's just done such a solid job. I think sometimes people that have talent, automatically people think they're supposed to win, and they don't give the guy on the sideline enough credit. He's just done a great job getting them to function together as a unit.
Casey was telling me before the game, he says, you know, there have been some writers trying to start some bad blood between the Knicks and the Celtics. He says some things have been taken out of context as Bird goes over to position himself on Bernard King and picks up his second foul. 39-37, two-point New York lead with 6:38 to go in the half. Bill Cartwright, who had 14 first-period points, has not scored here in the second period as he just checked back into the game. McHale guarding King. Tipped up. Bird comes away with the rebound. Gets it down to McHale on Truck Robinson. Block. Scored. They say it was a good block. No, they said it was a good block.
They got away with one there. I thought definitely that ball was taken on its downward flight.
Tucker, he misses. Unusual. Trent Tucker, the last 9 games of the season, Dick, shot 67%. Really got his shooting groove together. And he's missed his last couple of shots here as McHale travels.
One great asset of Kevin McHale. If he makes a mistake on one end of the floor, he's going to just keep coming back. I thought there should have been a goaltending on that call, but the official, Vanek, was a lot closer to it than I was, and that's a tough call to make.
Boston 9 turnovers, the Knicks 5. Looking into Cartwright, guarded by Parrish. Follow-away shot, and Wedman comes up with a rebound.
You can see in the Knicks game plan, they have decided to go to Cartwright.
Henderson just throwing a prayer up, trying to draw the foul. They're not calling it. 4-on-1. Bird knocks it away. And they're going to call the foul on Larry Bird, and that is his third.
It was a good foul. That should have been an automatic slam dunk. They had a 4-on-1 opportunity, and Larry Bird could do only one thing, go for the basketball, as Cartwright was going up for the shot. It is his third foul, which is big.
And Cartwright, strolling around the court, might have turned his ankle just a bit.
I'd get him out of the lineup right now. If I were Casey Jones, I'd get him out of the lineup.
And a technical against Larry Bird as Bird is jawing with Gerald Garrettson.
Now for sure I'd sit him down and try to settle him down. He's got 3 fouls. I would definitely put him on a sideline for a moment.
Dennis Johnson is coming into the game as Sparrow will shoot the technical and makes it. And Henderson's going to come out.
I disagree with Casey's strategy right now, Roger. I would definitely, with 3 fouls on Larry, he's emotionally upset on the call. He's liable to get the 4th. I know Hubie Brown's going to probably offensively go right at Larry.
And Bird still jawing with Garrettson. I think Larry said that he knocked the ball loose before Cartwright had any intention of putting it up, so he's arguing the 2-shot.
Garrettson looked over at Larry Bird and he said, Larry, don't you know I'm the best in the business? I have never made a mistake.
You think Garrettson was yelling at you before the game, Dick? Wait till he hears that.
Oh, I was just teasing him before the game, and he was teasing me about a statement we made on the air.
Cartwright now with 15 points, averaging 18.7 points and over 8 rebounds a game in the playoffs.
Look at the intensity in Bill. He works out during the summer on weights. He ran on the beach. Hubie Brown, Richie Adubato, and Rick Pitino have done a great job in convincing him to be a little bit more aggressive down inside.
Well, Cartwright's got 16. Bernard King just 6. And it's 42-37. The Knicks up by 5 with 5:27 left to go first half. They're looking at Bird. He comes off the pick. leans in, off the glass, and look at that shot by Larry Bird.
That's why he's a superstar. He makes the big play, a very clutch performer. He's Vitale's choice as the MVP in basketball, even though Sporting News just selected Bernard King as Player of the Year.
Through the NBA players who voted on it. King outside, and he hits it.
Bernard King starting to go outside a little bit. I know you only have him down for 8 points, Roger. Put 25 in the book. It's automatic.
And you've got the stamp to mail it in.
25 automatic before the night is over.
Johnson has picked up his dribble. 10 on the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock now. Parrish, Dennis Johnson, 1 on the shot clock. Bird, the offensive board, and in.
Larry Bird demonstrates once again you don't have to be a great leaper who plays up in the sky. Just get good position and good timing, and you can score inside. Because, Roger, most rebounds come below the rim.
3-point Knick lead. Since getting his third foul, Bird has gotten 2 buckets.
They want to go to Truck Robinson. They know Bird's got 3, and Truck throws it back out.
They didn't get it off. 24-second clock expired. A good defensive job right there by the Boston Celtics.
That frustrates UB Brown on the sideline because he's such a perfectionist. UB just charts, evaluates every phase of the game. Then he has a philosophy, my way or the highway.
Parrish, the turnaround. And in, Robert Parrish now with 8 points, and it's a 1-point Knick lead. Their biggest lead has been 7. It's 44-43 with 3:45 left to go, first half. And if the Knicks don't get it together in this playoff, there might be a couple of guys heading for the highway after the season's over. Cartwright misses, and Bird comes away with the rebound. Parrish over Cartwright, and the foul is going to be on Bill Cartwright. That is his second, as Marvin Webster will check back into the game. He used to call him the human eraser when he first came out of Oregon State. Prolific shot blocker, but he's had some major knee problems.
He's responsible, Roger, during his career for more rejections than the dean of admission at Harvard.
I know one of the deans up at Harvard. A pal of mine, Seamus Mallon.
You know, you mentioned the highway. Do you want to put me in trouble, and you want my feeling as to who's going to hit the highway in a Knick uniform?
That's what we pay you for, Dick.
I think Ray Williams might be in the last time he's wearing a New York Knicks uniform. He's in the last year of a contract, and he's been in UB's doghouse a little bit for his inconsistent play. We looked at Maxwell and Truck Robinson.
That's an interesting move. We'll get back to that, but Bird comes out after he got that third foul. Sometimes Bird responds after he gets upset. Some players might make another stupid mistake. Bird came back with a couple hoops from offensive boards, but you mentioned Truck Robinson too.
I think Truck Robinson and Ray Williams both can be out of a Knick uniform. Truck is in the last. Truck has 1 more year on his contract, and I don't know if there are too many people out there going to just go after Truck Robinson.
Celtics now with a lead, 45-44 with 3:20 left to go in the half. Blocked by McHale, and DJ comes up with it. And he is fouled, and he grabbed Dennis Johnson from behind. Now that's the second real physical foul, the Grunfeld foul of McHale, and that one from behind. And look at the scratch mark on the back. That time, he drew blood from Dennis Johnson.
We watched the turnover. Now we'll see Bernard King with the block shot. Bernard takes it to the goal. There's the great block angle that McHale had on King. He's got great size, the long arms, and he had the great angle to block that shot. And then we see the tackle from the rear.
Oh, look at his face. He's got a bad scratch from the top of his neck down his back.
In all defense to Bernard King, he definitely was not trying to hurt him. He was trying to grab him to make him to go to the foul line. Dennis is a great free throw shooter.
I'm sure Dennis will give him a pair of nail clippers at halftime and say, you're going to do that again. Trim him up, will you? Dennis now with just 3 points on the night. He's averaging almost 16 points a game in these playoffs. Celtics shooting 47%, Dick, in this period. The Knicks just 28%.
Dennis Johnson, such a winner everywhere he's been, was the most valuable player during the playoffs when Seattle won the World Championship. He gives you that great defensive intensity, and that becomes contagious with everyone else on the floor.
Celtics now with a 3-point lead. Throw the ball away. Rory Sparrow threw it away. Webster deflects it. And Jim Stamos, our stats man, makes a nice grab to save the ball from going into Dick Vitale, who everybody knows has bad hands.
I have no hands at all, Roger.
We got a timeout on the floor. 2:57 left to go first half. Celtics have gone out on top, 47-44. Dick, you saw a lot of those great playoff games. DeBusschere, Havlicek, Willis Reed.
It was great watching the New York Knicks during that era. I was a young coach coming up the high school ranks, really, and just starting out, trying to move up that ladder of success. And so was Hubie Brown from over at Fairlawn, New Jersey. We're both from Bergen County. And to watch the Knicks play with their great team concept, when you had Bradley with his great motion without the ball, now a U.S. Senator, Dave DeBusschere with his hard-nosed defense, Willis Reed with his guts, and a great backcourt of Frazier and Monroe and Barnett.
There you look at the front court and backcourt scoring. That's even Steven right there. The Knicks with only 4 field goals in the second period.
They've done a poor job shooting the perimeter jump shot, and it puts all kinds of pressure on your interior game when you're not scoring from the wings.
McHale posted up on Truck Robinson, misses, and Sparrow the rebound. It's Sparrow, Bernard King, as King will take it by McHale and in.
That's where Bernard is absolutely unstoppable. Once he catches that basketball out in that left lane and he starts his drive to the goal, we automatically say it is a score.
Bernard with 10 points. DJ, Scott Wedman, Kevin McHale, Parrish, and Cedric Maxwell. And the Truck Robinson-McHale matchup should be one the Celtics can take advantage of. Dennis Johnson kept it alive to Parrish. Beautiful job by DJ.
Great job also by Cedric Maxwell with what I call the touch pass. He had tremendous awareness on the floor where Parrish was, gave the great touch pass for the layup.
12 points for Robert Parrish as Maxwell falls down his attempt to cover King. And you see DJ moving over. Sparrow swings the baseline, is wide open in the corner, misses, and Parrish gets the rebound.
Knicks are also only getting 1 shot now at the glass.
Bad pass by Robert Parrish, and Maxwell couldn't pick it up. And the turnover goes back to New York with 1:40 left to go first half, and the Celtics up by 3. Tucker misses again. He hasn't been able to get a shot down, and that really hurts the Knicks.
It hurts because he doesn't recognize they had Dennis Johnson playing Bernard King down on the interior on a mismatch, and they don't take advantage of it.
King and in.
There he is again, shooting that little jumper as he's rising, as opposed to shooting it from the top like most people. It's just almost impossible to block.
There's no way one man can't guard Bernard King. Celtics have done an outstanding job with both Maxwell and McHale rotating.
What a great story. He climbs from up on that mountain after being down in the valley with all his personal problems, the drug situation. It's just so beautiful to see somebody coming back like Bernard King has come back.
Foul was on Trent Tucker as Bill Cartwright will come back in. Along with Ray Williams, Tucker and Webster come out. And there is Ray Williams, who Dick Vitale thinks might be elsewhere. He's a gamer. He's the type of guy he can win one for you, just as easily lose one.
He can shoot you into a game, and he can shoot you out of a game. I've always had great respect for Ray's tremendous one-on-one ability, especially manufacturing a shot when the shot clock's running down. But he's had 2 really bad years, Roger. He didn't have a good year last year under Cotton Fitzsimmons, who just does a great job with guards, and he hasn't had a good year this year.
Celtics now 16 of 21 from the foul line, and it's 50-48, a 2-point Boston lead. 1 minute left to go. First half, game 3 of this Eastern Conference semifinal series, and Rory Sparrow misses. Wedman gets the rebound.
You're going to get all kinds of jump shots on the wing with King playing down in the box on your side. Sparrow has to hit that jumper.
Dennis Johnson will set things up now for the Boston Celtics with 10 on the shot clock. Trying to get it to Maxwell, who's got the position. And he's fouled going up. That time they really got Maxwell down low against King. What kind of defensive player is Bernard King?
Bernard King certainly not a great defensive player, but does an adequate job in playing the guy, trying to deny him the basketball. He certainly has asked so much to score on the other end, and it's very difficult for him to do it on both ends. Williams with 4 fouls now.
Williams reached in that time, giving help to Bernard King, and picked up his 4th. Maxwell, who has really taken a different sort of role on this team after being the MVP of the '81 championship series.
Roger, his stats have dropped tremendously from early in his career, but he's such an unsung hero. He does so many intangible items on the floor, and he's a great complementary player. He's a blender. He's needed in that lineup for them to win.
Celtics wanted to try to move Bernard about 3 feet out from where he usually likes to get the ball on that side, and that was effective that time, as Cartwright with 20 and 10 on the respective clocks. That's a good spot for Bernard. He missed it, and Chuck Robinson knocked it away. Wedman saved it, but he stepped out of bounds, so the Knicks will be able to set it up for one last shot with 13 seconds to go, and King walking a little gingerly. It looks as though he might have turned that left ankle. He's got 2 dislocated fingers. He's played with a lot of pain. A lot of people don't realize in that final game against the Pistons had a bad case of the flu, and it was just monumental in his effort.
That was a great show, one-on-one show between King and Isaiah Thomas. Absolutely. Vidic running down the clock.
4 seconds. Williams. And in.
Roger, that's what I was talking about just a little bit earlier. He had the great ability. He had the great ability in that series to make the tremendous play as the clock was running down. Just a spectacular one-on-one player.
We're at halftime at Madison Square Garden in New York. The Boston Celtics lead the New York Knicks 52-50. NBA playoff action on ESPN will continue right after this. Thank you very much, Greg, and welcome back to New York. Celtics by 2 points at halftime. Neither team shooting particularly well, but the Celtics have been able to dominate on the boards 29-22 so far in this particular game. And, of course, the foul line is the story for Boston, as they have been there 23 times and converted on 18, whereas the Knicks are 10 of 11.
Roger, we've heard it mentioned several times now by John Andres about the field goal percentage efficiency. The reason for that is the tremendous tenacity on the defensive end. And if you were to chart or evaluate playoff basketball, normally shooting percentages drop because of the tremendous emotion on the floor, the pressure that's on the shooter, and they play so much better on the defensive end. I think that's the reason we see the shooting percentages that we see. I think definitely, as you mentioned, the difference has to be the free throw opportunities that the Celtics have had. They've had 2 to 1. They've shot 18 for 23 versus 10 for 11 for the Knicks.
Boston turned it over 10 times in the first half, and the Knicks just 7. So that is down from the last game when New York turned it over 27 times. As Bird gets it down low, leans in and hits it, and Larry Bird, who hit 6 of 8 in the first half, make it now 7 of 9 for Bird, and he has 14 points.
That was a set play they called. They got Bird isolated down in a box against Bernard King, gave a good head fake, and had the easy layup inside.
And underneath, the foul is going to be on Cedric Maxwell. And you might have heard Bernard King let out a yell that time, because as soon as Maxwell got a hand on him, King let John Vanek know about it. And it's the second foul on Cedric Maxwell this game. Just underway, second half action. Celtics lead this best-of-7 series 2 games to none. Trent Tucker back on the floor to start the second half. He had a poor shooting first half. He'll try to get it going here, and Dennis Johnson blocks it. Stripped loose by Henderson. King gets it. He misses. A lot of body contact, and Casey Jones yelling at Vanek to give him a call, which they don't.
We just watched a great defensive play by Dennis Johnson. He went into the lane to take the driving angle away from Cartwright, and then he blocked the shot.
Strong move by Bill Cartwright, who had 14 first period points, but just 2 free throws in the second period. Give him 18 now in the game.
He shows, again, good flexibility in the post as he utilizes his left hand, protecting the ball with his body.
Bird. Henderson loses it for a second. 6 on the shot clock, and Trent Tucker on the back of Dennis Johnson. On Tucker, that'll be his 3rd foul. You know, Maxwell, Johnson, and McHale shot a combined 3 for 16 in that first half.
That's certainly not what we would call great shooting.
Parrish. And Trent Tucker comes up with a rebound. Tucker's got to pick it up. He was just 1 for 5 in the first half from the floor.
Tucker's a good stationary jump shooter who has to get the shot within his range.
Sparrow hits it. Rory Sparrow, sometime a forgotten man, but he can hit the outside jumper. He's got 7 points.
A little inconsistent with his shooting, Roger, but he's going to get all the opportunities because of the presence of King on the floor.
Parrish and in. Robert Parrish. He can turn face up and take it to the hole as well as any 7-footer in the game. He's got 14.
That's face up what we call triple threat position, where he can shoot the ball, drive with it, or pass the basketball because he's facing the floor and has great vision, being able to see all his offensive teammates.
Sparrow underneath. The pass from Bernard King.
Excellent motion without the ball. Sparrow a little bit shocked. He looks over at King and says, Bernard, I never knew you'd give up the ball for an assist.
Bird to scoop it in. Larry Bird now with 16. Hey, Sparrow was a great 4th-round draft pick, huh?
Just a tremendous 4th-round draft pick, especially he's put himself now into the megabuck country. to the tune of about $600,000 per year.
Originally drafted by New Jersey, dealt to Atlanta, then to New York, and traveling called on Bill Cartwright.
Good call by Vanek. We have two solid officials on the game. I mean, I teased Darryl Garrettson, but I don't think there's any question that he's in what we call the Rolls-Royce class of referees.
I didn't know they had Rolls-Royce referees. They had players and coaches.
Jack Madden, Jake O'Donnell, you have to put them right up on top with Garrettson.
King guarding Bird. Larry underneath to Henderson. Nice pass.
That's what separates Larry Bird from so many of the great forwards that have played the game of basketball. So many of them have great offensive ability, but can't pass the ball like Bird. One could by the name of Rick Barrett.
60-56, Celtics by 4. Barry has the assist record for forwards. Bird came very close with 17 in a game this year. As Dennis Johnson brings it across the timeline, guarded by Tucker. And a 3-second call by Daryl Garrettson. On the other end of the floor, we just watched Rory Sparrow shoot the open jump shot. Sometimes it's so much tougher, Roger, to shoot that open jump shot with no one bothering you. They're just playing off Rory Sparrow. That was not a 3-second violation. He raised up 3 fingers. The foul is going to be on Dennis Johnson, his third for pushing off. Tipped loose by Henderson, knocked out of bounds, and Vanek says it'll be Celtics basketball. Long pass by Bird to Parrish. Good grab by Roberts.
He looked like a wide receiver with the great hands. He'd be some flanker at 7 foot tall.
Remember Morris Stroud, the 6'10" tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs?
What about Carmichael, 6'8" for the Eagles? I know my football, don't
you
I?
too. Bernard King reaches in on Bird, and that'll be the first foul on Bernard.
Don't believe it. I don't know a darn thing about the pigskin, Roger.
Second team foul on the Knicks.
There are a lot of people say I don't know anything about the basketball.
Well, I've heard that too.
You don't say that. No, I know. You're my biggest booster.
Who's your buddy, Dick? Come on. Johnson, he's in trouble. He's picked up his dribble. Gets Henderson posted inside. Blocked by Trent Tucker. And here comes Sparrow. Boy, DJ did a good job getting back. King and in.
Excellent judgment in transition by Sparrow. He waits, gets the ball. King flashing to the low post. So many point guards do not use good judgment in transition. He demonstrated excellent judgment and made the right pass, the bounce pass for the layup.
Celtics by 2. 60-58 with 7:20 left to go. Third period. Parrish misses and Sparrow comes down with it. Sparrow leads the Knicks in assists, just under 7 a game. And one of 6 players in Knicks history to get over 500 assists in one season. He'll set things up to Tucker. They go into Cartwright. That's an easy two.
He's responding to the challenge, and the challenge right now is that we're going to get you the basketball, Big Bill. That's what UB Brown is saying, and he's saying, get us win number 1 so that we can come back here Sunday and tie this series up.
Cartwright with 20 points now. The crowd really getting into it, chanting defense here. They're tied at 60. Timeout called by the New York Knicks, and also a foul on Trent Tucker. That's his 4th. Celtics and Knicks tied up at 60 with 6:44 to go in the third. In the third period so far, the Knicks have hit on 5 of 8 shots. Boston 4 of 7, 57-62% respectively. The Knicks out rebounding Boston 5-1 so far. We'll talk about the fast break for the Celtics, or really for any team. Dick, how many ways can you run a fast break?
The Celtics run 7 basic ways. They run on a made field goal, the missed field goal, the made free throw, the missed free throw. They run off a turnover. They run on a block shot, and they run against pressure. Those are the 7 basic ways that you can run a fast break, and they run off all 7.
Bird finds Parrish down low. He misses it. Tipped out, and Cartwright gets it. Ray Williams has checked into the game now as Trent Tucker left with 4 fouls.
That was a set play. They ran a double screen for Larry Bird, and then on a switch he dumped it inside, but they didn't come up with a
deflection by Dennis Johnson. The turnover goes to the Boston Celtics. Boston with 11 turnovers, the Knicks with 10, and it'll be Celtics basketball. All tied up at 60 here.
Ray Williams is in the top 5 in the league in steals, 2.1. One of the reasons for Ray stealing the basketball, he takes a lot of chances. He's a gambler on defense.
Williams. Maxwell, the left hand, gets his own miss, and he's fouled by Cartwright. And that's one of the things that Cedric Maxwell does so well, is he's able to get inside. He's able to be very creative with the shots. They call him the rubber band man. And Bill Cartwright has picked up his third foul. As you look at Casey Jones, the Celtics head coach, Dick's candidate for Coach of the Year in the NBA, and Cedric Maxwell, who's going to be a free agent after this year, but he says he's going to be back with Boston. They're going to get it together.
He will definitely be in a green and white. Red Auerbach, no way is going to allow him to go. And don't believe that Red's not going to still be handling a lot of the operations of the Celtics, even though he's resigning as the GM. Want a little scoop? I don't even think it's a scoop. Jan Vogel, get that shovel out. Right? He's definitely going to be the GM and take over the duties that Auerbach had.
Business duties. Red's going to handle the player. 62-60. Celts by a pair. Williams takes the shot, and a tough shot over Dennis Johnson.
He guided that shot, and that was not what you would call a smooth shot. You're 100% correct when you say tough shot.
10 points for Ray Williams, tied up at 62. Look at the post, Dennis Johnson against Ray.
Ray's hand checking.
DJ steps back, in and out. Dennis Johnson just can't get him to fall. And a foul in the backcourt on Dennis Johnson, and that will be his fourth. So Dennis Johnson, I think the frustration showing through right now, as DJ was just 1 of 5 in the first half, and he has missed a couple shots here in the third period.
Dennis Johnson's such a clutch performer when the game is on the line in the last 4 minutes. They can't afford to have him go down the stretch with 5 fouls. I think they got to get him out of the lineup.
McHale's going to check in at the next opportunity. Cartwright blocked by Parrish. From behind, it's Bird. And Bird cracked heads with somebody's elbow. Foul's going to be on Robert Parrish. That is his second.
Knicks get the good 45-degree angle and dumping the ball down. They get the good passing angle. Cartwright has the ball, has good inside position. Parrish comes over the first time, blocks it. Gets it the second time, but the second time he makes body contact.
Look at Larry. That's a big headache right there.
He's a headache for a lot of coaches, and putting a lot of coaches out of a job, too.
A lot of players, too. Cartwright with 20 points. Make it 21, as Cartwright has been perfect from the foul line. He is 7 of 7. Bill Cartwright has really improved his game. As I mentioned, he shot his best free throw percentage this year, 80% since he's been in the league. He also had his best offensive rebounding season with 195, so he continues to work every year to try to improve himself.
Hubie's done a great job in developing an aggressive attitude out of Cartwright and making him an aggressive player because he's a non-aggressive personality.
Knicks back on top, 64-62. Trying to go into Maxwell. And the turnover, it'll be New York basketball.
Hubie making a call. He calls most of the plays from the sideline. They have numbered calls. And
there's hand checking by Henderson. That's supposed to be a foul, isn't it? Ball thrown away, and Maxwell comes up with it.
The rule book says you're not allowed to put a hand on the offensive player to impede his progress.
Bird back to Henderson, wide open. He misses. Bird gets the rebound, puts it up. He misses, and Sparrow comes up with it. Neither team really converting their second chance opportunities, Dick.
And they're getting second opportunities. The Celtics are, and they're not making the most of it.
They say the ball is out of bounds. Ray Williams could not come up with it. And it'll be Boston Celtic basketball with 4:28 to go in the third, and the Knicks leading by 2.
John Bannock catches him.
Don't read lips.
Well, Ray thought he definitely got fouled, and I have to agree with him, but they missed the foul, but caught him stepping out of bounds.
Celtics have missed their last 7 shots. Bird, the left hand, switches to the right, won't go, and King the rebound. They've missed their last 8 now.
That's a good shot, though. When you come up with a miss in that series, you don't mind it as a coach because that's good execution, getting it to your star for the shot.
King and in.
And that's getting it to a star. We have some Broadway lights and marquee names on the floor in King and Bird.
DJ pushing it up in a hurry. Knicks by 4. And the foul underneath is going to be on Truck Robinson, and that'll be his third. Truck Robinson has not scored so far in the game. Casey Jones and his staff did a great job getting the team ready against Hubie Brown's team to break that press, and I think Kevin McHale said it best. He said, during the regular season, the press gives you a lot of trouble because he says, Tuesday night you're in Indiana, then you got to come in Wednesday and play the Knicks, and you can't put anything, you can put it on the chalkboard, but you can't go out and work on it. And you can in the playoffs.
As we talked about, the basic reason for attacking that press and having a lot of success is preparation and concentration. They've had the opportunity to prepare. You're playing one opponent. As you mentioned, you're not traveling. You have the opportunity to stay in a city, go to a practice, and to execute what has to be executed and to study films.
Maxwell hits the free throw. Cedric now with 6 of his 8 points from the foul line. And it's 66-64, 2-point lead. These two teams will play game 4 here Sunday at Madison Square Garden.
Roger, it's really 5 against 4 on a defensive end. Larry Bird is just roaming inside. They want them to call a illegal defense on Bird. He's not even checking Truck Robinson because Robinson is just a non-threat offensively. He's a liability on the offensive end.
Foul on Cedric Maxwell, his 3rd. And the Celtics with 14 fouls. Knicks are over the limit.
Watch Larry Bird. He's just zoning up inside. He's just playing off the ball. Gives all kinds of help. Truck is not a threat. He's just not hungry enough to want to score. He's just going to lay some screens.
King had to adjust that shot, and it's tipped out of bounds. They're going to give it to the Celtics, and oh, that really gets the Knick crowd up. They felt that went off McHale's foot. McHale is in there for Robert Parrish right now.
I know the one item David DeBusschere has to do, the general manager, all summer. He's got to figure a way to go get a big active body for that front court.
Bird, the step back. Hits! Beautiful shot by Larry Bird. Give him 18.
One thing about Larry Bird, he can miss 5 shots in a row. You know number 6 is going to come.
And he's just going to keep putting it up.
When you're a superstar, you can do that. If you're just a guy that's a marginal player, the coach will have you next to him as an assistant coach.
Maxwell fronting King. Now an illegal defense call by Daryl Garrettson on Larry Bird.
Yubi's clapping. He's saying, about time. You can read Yubi's lips.
Charged against Larry Bird. The Celtics. That's their first violation.
That's the first violation, so that is the warning. Second one will be the technical.
Boston so far in this half has 8 offensive rebounds for 6 points. They've converted them into 6 points.
Ray Williams high off the glass over his former college teammate, Kevin McHale.
That's Ray Williams. He was a great player at Mount Vernon High School in New York City, and he demonstrated his one-on-one ability again.
Henderson, good job finding McHale down low that time, and Kevin was fouled.
Ray Williams will drive you absolutely bananas because he has such great talent. He has as much talent from the guard slot as many, many people in this league.
That foul was on Bill Cartwright, his 4th. Time out on the floor, 2:48 to go in the 3rd. Knicks lead it by 2, 68-66. Monday on ESPN, and there's Elliott Gould, who is courtside. Big basketball fan.
They have a number of actors who are big basketball fans. Dustin Hoffman, also Peter Falk is.
And Boston in this period just shooting 36%. The Knicks 62%. On the game, Boston 40%, New York 45%. Somebody's got to be feeling kind of lucky to be shooting that bad in this period. Still just behind by 2. McHale's going to shoot 2. Cartwright picked up his 4th foul, so Webster is in the game now. And McHale has done all of his damage from the foul line. He has but 1 field goal.
He does his damage from the foul line, Roger, but he creates those opportunities with his aggressive play. He posts up, he makes his body real wide, utilizes his long wingspan. Just as an active player and a great player.
All tied up at 68. As McHale will match up on Webster.
Notice the great help defense by McHale. He stepped out to give Johnson help.
Tough shot there, tipped around. Maxwell comes up with it as Ray Williams once again tried to go over Dennis Johnson. He couldn't do it that time. DJ's wide open. He'll take it again. He misses again. Look at the offensive board by Henderson, blocked by Webster. And here comes Rory Sparrow in the Knicks with a 4-on-3, and King will hold it up.
I guess from the sideline, to me, it looks like goaltending again. They have a better angle than I do.
Webster, the offensive board.
That's Webster's forte. Go grab some rebounds, be active inside. He's not going to give you any scoring, so he can give a lot of help. They're going to go to an isolation. They got Webster away from the basket. They're going to try to get King posted inside.
Boy, Henderson just ran into a Chuck Robinson pick as Rory Sparrow hits from outside. Sparrow's got 6 in the period and 11 on the night, and it's 70-68 Knicks.
If I were Sparrow, I'd go give a hug to Bernard King. I'd say, I love you, Bernard. You're getting me every chance to be free for an open jump shot.
Well, Chuck Robinson laid the pick that time on Henderson, and it really knocked him for a loop. 6 on the shot clock. McHale has it. 3 on the shot clock. DJ from three-point land. And Sparrow comes away with it. 3-on-3 to Bernard. That's his spot, and it counts.
Once he catches it and starts that drive down the lane, he has that great first step. He gives you a little shoulder fake, a little head fake. Oh, is he a superstar, Roger? That is an absolute superstar. He catches the ball. He stares at Larry Bird. He says, Larry, get away. I'm going to show you why they voted for me, the players, as the MVP.
4th foul on Larry Bird, and Scott Wedman will check into the game, and Bird will come out. Also checking in Danny Ainge, and Gerald Henderson will get a rest with 1:18 to go in the 3rd. And the crowd, for the first time tonight, on their feet here at Madison Square Garden. Bernard King was the player of the month in the NBA in February. Took 16 games. He shot 58% from the floor, averaged 32.9 points per game. And there was a 15 consecutive road game stretch where he averaged almost 37 points a game on the road.
They tell me that Kelly Tribuco, when he was going to sleep at night, he would mutter in his room during the early night, Bernard, Bernard, Bernard. He was seeing him in his dreams.
Ainge back outside to Dennis Johnson, 73-68. Wedman over Webster, doesn't get there. Wedman gets it back, takes it inside and in. Scott Wedman has come off the bench and scored 7 points for the Celtics. The only other player off the bench besides Kevin McHale to have any points. They have combined now for 19.
Scott Wedman with a good second effort, just that one off the ground.
Alley-oop from Williams to Bernard King.
Excellent timing. Credit Ray Williams with a great pass to free King for the layup.
King now has 21 points. Knicks lead it by 5. Their biggest lead has been 7 points. 30 and 12 on the respective clocks. DJ travels.
Knicks doing a good job, Roger, of doubling down on the basketball in the post, forcing it to go from the inside to the outside and then rotating. UB Brown calls play 2.
He calls every play, does he not?
Most of those numbers mean one thing. Get the ball to Bernard. And why not?
17 seconds to go in the period. Knicks lead it by 5. They'll settle for one final shot. Ainge now cheating over. Darrell Walker working on Ainge, puts it up and in.
That's Darrell Walker with his great athletic ability. And once again, the Knicks run down the clock. Perfect execution as earlier in the game when Ray Williams made the great play. Tremendous execution.
First 2 points to Walker. We'll check in with Greg and John. Knicks lead it 77-70. Thank you very much, Greg. And this crowd here at Madison Square Garden, over 18,000 cheering as Bernard King. 9 points in that 3rd period, 21 on the evening.
I want to second what John Andre said concerning Ray Williams. We talked about it earlier. He certainly is a key to the New York Knicks' fortune.
King guarded by McHale.
Oh, what tremendous
He missed it. And Danny Ainge was knocked out of the play. The foul is going to be on Kevin McHale. And on Kevin, that is his second. The Celtics shot but 31%, 6 of 19 in that period. The Knicks 12 of 19, 63%. The Knicks out-rebounded Boston 13-7.
I got a kick out of Bernard talking about the fact that when the writers were saying that he was on a roll when he was putting those 40s together, he said, when do I go from the roll to the next plateau and maybe I'm up a level? And he is up a level.
Ray Williams tips in the miss.
That's the big play. Ray Williams known for his spectacular play. The Knicks are going to go into that 2-2-1 zone press with Darrell Walker on the floor. There's the trap.
Johnson gets by it. Biggest lead for the Knicks, 9 points, 79-70. Ainge comes through off the glass and in. Danny Ainge. his first 2 points, and it's 79-72. It's Darrell Walker, Ray Williams, Marvin Webster, Bernard King, and Louis Orr. For the Celtics, Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, Scott Wedman, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish. Parrish deflected it. Williams gets it back, puts it up and in.
Williams has a scoring rhythm now, both with the drive and the little jump shot in the lane. Interesting to see Casey Jones go with Danny Ainge, who certainly hasn't played a lot of minutes down the stretch.
17 points for Ray Williams. McHale gets it down low. And no call as Webster got a piece of that basketball. Run out of bounds. It'll be Knicks ball.
The Knicks are doing a great job helping one another defensively. Remember, in this league, team defense is so vital. You can't check these great athletes one-on-one. You need help.
81-72. Keep in mind, Ray Williams did not play in Game 2 at Boston. The alley-oop to Orr and in. That time a mismatch with Danny Ainge.
Just a tremendous play out at the point by Ray Williams. He looks left at Bernard King. He gets Louis Orr for the little lob over the top. They take advantage. Perfect execution out of a half-court game.
Celtics want a timeout as the Knicks have moved out to their biggest lead, 11 points, 83-72. We're just underway, the final period from Madison Square Garden.
If you were to chart them and their field goal efficiency out of their half-court game, and I know UB Brown and his staff chart every opportunity down the floor, they're getting high percentage opportunities each time they possess the basketball. And if you make those possessions count, Roger, like they're doing, that's why you have a 68% shooting percentage. Here's an example of just great execution. Look at Ray Williams out at the point. And there's the little lob. They anticipate Ray going to Bernard King. He throws it over the top to Louis Orr.
Celtics with the ball. Quinn Buckner has checked into the game now. Wedman wide open on the side, and he hits it. Scott Wedman now off the bench with 9 points.
That's perfect Celtic basketball. Great ball movement. The key to any good offense is ball movement and player movement.
A lot of pressure by the Celtics on the inbound, but they found Webster. And Quinn Buckner, I'll tell you, he is going to be all over Ray Williams. Like a bad rash coming up the floor.
He's a very intense competitor.
No basket. Buckner got him outside. Second foul on Quinn Buckner. Maybe Ray Williams wants to stay in New York. Maybe he figures he's got to get it together and start playing some solid basketball, or he has heard those same rumblings that you've heard, Dick.
He's certainly capable. He has great talent.
Knocked away by Buckner. Quinn will hold it up, then he gets it to McHale. It's knocked out of McHale's hand by Darrell Walker. Buckner gets it back. Quinn loses it. He puts it up with the left hand and in, and then he does his somersault.
Just pure guts, an acrobatic move by Quinn Buckner. He's a solid performer, a very intense competitor, learned his trade with Bobby Knight at Indiana when he played on that '76 championship team.
All right, they're rattling some bones down along the baseline. Offensive foul on the New York Knicks. It's going to be on Darrell Walker, his first.
The last 2 times down the floor, the Knicks don't get the kind of shot they want, turn the ball over, and you just can't do that against the Celtics. They usually make you pay for those mistakes.
Bird has it knocked out by Bernard King. 10 on the shot clock now. 20-footer. Won't go. Webster over the back of Wedman. And Gerritsen makes the call out front. Foul's going to be on Marvin Webster. And Hubie Brown will have a few choice words for the senior official in the NBA.
No reason for it. Darryl Gerritsen had a good look at it, and we saw the same thing. Marvin said, I didn't touch him. He just climbed over the top of his back. Marvin said, this is the playoffs. You're supposed to allow that.
Darrell Walker had a rookie record, 127 steals this year. Bird, the fall away. Parrish, the offensive board. And the foul's going to be on Webster.
Larry Bird drew the help from Marvin Webster, and it opened up the lane, the rebounding lane for Robert Parrish. No one was there to check him out, and now he goes to the foul line. He gets fouled.
They changed the call. It's going to be on Ray Williams, and that's his 5th. So that's a big foul. And that'll bring Trent Tucker into the game.
Ray had no other...
Webster wanted the foul. He was raising his hand up.
Ray had no other alternative because of the great size and the mismatch with Parrish. He could only foul him, or he had the easy layup.
Believe it or not, first time Larry Bird has been scissors. Robert Parrish threw an air ball up.
Do you think he's getting a little bit tight? I don't believe it. He's been through too much pressure. I think the ball just slipped. He's a 74% free throw shooter.
as Parrish hits the second one. I was going to say Bird has not been to the foul line so far tonight. Parrish and McHale, along with Maxwell, have been to the foul line a number of times, but the Celtics have a considerable number more free throw attempts as Walker misses, tipped around, Buckner loses it, and it's going to be Knicks basketball.
Darrell Walker certainly is susceptible to pressure. He's an athlete who plays a little bit out of control. He has great agility. He makes things happen, but he's not a good perimeter shooter at all.
Cartwright and Sparrow check back into the game for the New York Knicks with 8:41 left to go. Knicks lead it by 6, 83-77. Now they had an 11-point lead, and the Celtics have been able to trim that down. Sparrow from just inside the three-point line. That's an air ball. Bird grabs it.
Roger, he just keeps getting open because of the presence on the floor. As we keep talking about it, and Bernard King, he has that wide open jumper. I wish they would give me that jumper. I might be able to be an NBA player. You saw me stick that.
Not a chance, Dick. You just better be satisfied sitting here and hope everything goes well. You know what I'm saying? Wedman will turn around and shoot it. Misses, and McHale is going to be over the top of Louis Orr on Kevin McHale now. That is his third foul. Celtics got some company here tonight. The mayor of Boston, Ray Flynn, made the trip down on the shuttle to watch the Celtics play.
Flynn was a great player. He was an MVP for Providence in the NIT one year when he played under Joe Mulaney.
Tucker. That's only his second field goal of the game. Trent Tucker with 4 points.
That's why he was drafted so high. They brought him out of Minnesota in the top 5 of the draft because he was known to be an excellent long-range stationary jump shooter.
Away from the ball, a whistle. Foul's going to be on Bill Cartwright, and that is his 5th. So now Williams and Cartwright with 5 fouls apiece. Each team with 3 team fouls, and Webster will check back into the game.
Do you think he earns his money on the sideline? I mean, the intensity, the emotion. He had that heart problem earlier this year. He's having a little problem with his back now, UB Brown, but just does a great job on the sideline. I know he's not too popular with some of his peers over the article that was in Sports Illustrated, but Roger, they can say what they want. The man can flat out coach.
McHale to Bird, and the foul's going to be on Webster. And on Webster, that is his third.
Larry Bird runs a good give and go, cuts to the basket, gets fouled. That's the basketball that Red Auerbach's teams played during his era. Watch the movement without the basketball. He moves so well without it. He draws the foul.
Bird, the leading free throw shooter in the NBA this year, is at 21 of 23 so far in the playoffs.
When we talk about great forwards that have played this game, if I had to pick my all-time great forwards, I'd have Dr. J in one corner, Elgin Baylor in another corner.
Now, this is an all-forward team.
I'd put in the middle Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with number 2 Wilt Chamberlain, and third Bill Russell, because Russell wasn't the great offensive player as Jabbar, and the guards are automatic. Oscar Robertson.
I thought maybe you were going to give me your all-forward team.
Guards are automatic, Oscar Robertson and Jerry West. But I'll tell you this, Larry Bird has a chance to move one of those guys out as one of the greatest players of all time at the forward slot. But you have to test time. You have to test time, and he needs 5 more great years, Roger, and we'll talk about him there.
Louis Orr misses, and Quinn Buckner comes up with it. McHale is down floor. Quinn, though, stripped from behind by Trent Tucker, and it'll be Celtics basketball with 7:23 left to go. Knicks lead it 85-79. Their biggest lead has been 11. The Celtics have been up by as many as 3.
Well, when we get down to the last 4 minutes, Larry Bird and Bernard King become great players. They're just clutch players. A lot of great players, though, Roger, they disappear in the last 4 minutes, but not this guy.
Buckner found Bird on the switch-off, the miss, and Tucker comes away with it. King, that's his side. Oh, he goes to Sparrow. The step back by Rory. Webster chases down the loose ball.
I think UB wanted to see Bernard take it to the goal, because when he gets on that wing, we were talking about Althea in the Kentucky Derby. This guy is like a quick thoroughbred.
Off McHale, but Bird comes up with it. Down to Buckner. Celtics with 3-on-1. Quinn is fouled on his way in, and UB Brown wants a timeout. Foul was on Trent Tucker. That is his 5th. So now Cartwright, Tucker, and Ray Williams all with 5 fouls. Knicks want a timeout with 6:43 left to go. They lead it by 6, 85-79. And NBA playoff basketball on ESPN will continue after this. Second half of this game, Celtics 9 of 27, 33%. Knicks 16 of 27, 59. As Hubie Brown using his playboard to describe a play. What are these guys doing at timeouts? I mean, don't they know the plays? I mean, you know, don't they get schooled in them? Do they really have to explain it to them again?
Roger, there are usually 3 phases to a timeout. Number 1, you want to set the strategy that you're going to utilize. 2, you want to remind each player about the time left, the score in a game. And 3, you want to talk about matchups.
Quinn Buckner will be going to the line. There's a good look at Larry Bird, who having his best playoffs so far since he's come into the NBA. Came into this game shooting 56% from the field, and Buckner misses the free throw.
Buckner played well down the stretch. He really played well when you saw him play, as we look at the percentage of free throws, but that's very deceptive. He hasn't been to the line that often.
And he misses them both.
Maybe it's not that deceptive.
Well, Quinn shot extremely well for them down the stretch. Final 12 games of the regular season, shooting 58%. First couple playoff games against Washington, also doing a good job. Tucker, he misses another one. Buckner went in and scrambled, and Bird comes up with the ball. 85-79. I'll tell you, Celtics shooting 30-some% this half. They got to be feeling pretty good being down just 6 here.
Very fortunate. They're going to a set play. It looks like they're going to flash Bird down to the box out of this set.
That's where they got him. The shot and in. What a tough shot by Larry Bird. Give him 22.
Roger, that's the play they were looking to get Bird isolated down in the box. Make Bernard King have to play on a defensive end. Try to wear him out.
6 minutes left to go. They went to Bernard, and it counts.
Bernard King adjusts according to the defensive player playing him. When he plays against a Kelly Tripucka, he wants to take advantage of his ability to jump and shoot over the top. When he plays against a big guy like McHale, he wants to utilize the head fake, the crossover step, and his quickness driving on the baseline. Great execution with the crossover step to get the great inside position. All I can use with this guy are the adjectives great, great, and great.
3-point play for Bernard, 24 on the night. Both coaches have made substitutions as Gerald Henderson, Dennis Johnson get back in the game for the Celtics. Ray Williams with 5 fouls. Back in. 3-pointer by Bird. Off, Parrish the rebound. Over, Webster and in. Usually on that 3-pointer, if you get the long rebound, Parrish was in the right position that time and was able to put it back up and in. 88-83 with 5:35 to go. King, once again, blocked by McHale. And there's going to be a foul on Bernard King. That is his second.
Also, you got to credit Bird roaming over. He plays like the monster man does in football. Do they still use a monster man in football? A linebacker that roams. Well, that's what Larry Bird does. He roams, and he just is able to help out defensively. He put a lot of pressure at that time in helping McHale on King.
22nd timeout now for the Celtics. Now, the Knicks are over the limit with 5:27 left to go. On Bernard King, his 3rd foul. The Celtics with 1 more, and they'll be over the limit. 14 fouls. Let's take a look now at defensive action by McHale.
Watch the help by Larry Bird. You're going to see Larry Bird come into the picture. There he comes. He's roaming inside. There's the great reach, the wingspan by Kevin McHale. They pop the ball loose, and then Bernard King comes over the back and is called for the foul.
Not only Bird, but Henderson also giving help there.
Well, you got to get 3 guys. Maybe get all 5 and just forget about everybody else.
Casey Jones told me before the game, 1 man cannot stop Bernard King. So they'll use 2, 3, as many as they need to. But McHale will go to the foul line right now.
People tell me, I know David Bing said this, he's never seen a guy perform better in a playoff than Bernard King and his unbelievable effort against the Detroit Pistons.
The Celtics now have missed 4 free throws here in this final period. As a matter of fact, they are 3 of 7 from the foul line in the 4th period.
And they're one of the better free throw shooting teams in the league. They're shooting 79.8%, which ranks them in the top 5. That's amazing.
McHale misses them both. He's 10 of 14 from the foul line. As a matter of fact, this year, they had their 2nd best free throw shooting percentage in their history. So a 5-point New York lead with 5:15 left to go.
Dennis Johnson trying to lead Ray Williams away from Bernard King.
McHale the rebound.
Great defense by Dennis Johnson. He opened up the angle and trying to send Williams away from King.
Bird breaking off the pick by Parrish. Give and go. And he's fouled by Webster going to the hole. That's beautiful basketball, isn't it, Dick?
Screen and roll. They help one another. Excellent 2-man execution.
4th foul on Webster. They'll get Cartwright back in, even though he has 5. They have 4:58 left to go. Free throws, Boston 27 of 37 in the game. New York 14 of 17.
Celtics go to the line so often because of their aggressive style of play and constantly giving the ball, taking it to their front court. They have the premier front court in all of basketball. When you talk about Parrish, McHale, Bird, and have the play of Maxwell, no one could put four better players across.
Parrish gets them both. And it's 88-85, a three-point New York lead. They've just not been able to separate themselves from the Boston Celtics. They got it up by 11 at one time. Celtics quickly whittled it down.
Watch Bird play off of Chuck Robinson and give all kinds of help. He's a monster, man. He's zoning up in the lane.
5 on the shot clock. Ray Williams baseline pop and hits. Ray Williams now with 6 in the period, 19 on the night, and it's 90-85.
Williams playing under control. He has a tendency at times to play a little bit out of control, but doing a solid job here tonight.
Bird leans in. Gerritsen said, no basket. Foul's going to be on Bernard King, and that is his 4th. And Bird will go to the line for the 2nd time this season.
Roger, when we talk about the big guard and the small forwards in the NBA, you're talking about the greatest athletes in all of sports. These guys have such great agility and mobility. They're so difficult to contain that you have to have all kinds of help.
And Bird misses a free throw. That's a rarity. So the Celtics have really been hurt by missed free throws right here. And this is the leading free throw shooter in the NBA.
Sometimes, Roger, you're affected by fatigue. Fatigue has a great way to make you a poor free throw shooter. You get a little bit tired.
Bird misses them both.
You know, your legs are so important to being a good free throw shooter.
The Celtics hit their free throws in this period. They're ahead in the game, but they're down by 5. Foul's going to be on Robert Parrish. That is his 3rd.
That four-point turnaround can be really big. If Cartwright converts these 2, you had the 2 missed by Larry Bird on the other end of the floor. Instead of being down 3, it can be a 7-point margin.
Cartwright, 22 points, has not scored here in the final 12 minutes. 4:10 left to go.
Cartwright came in the class of '79, which was great for the NBA. That was the year Magic was number 1, Greenwood number 2, Cartwright number 3. You had Moncrief. You had Larry Bird as a junior eligible. What a great class of '79 in the NBA.
Celtics want a timeout. Knicks lead it by 6, 91-85, 4:10 left to go from Madison Square Garden in New York. With you, Dick, unofficially, I have the Celtics 5 of 12 from the foul line here in the final 12 minutes.
That's not even good shooting in the CYO League. Never mind the 3 letters that say NBA. It's certainly not a team that is picked by many to challenge the Lakers for the World Championship, especially down to stretch time. It's very uncharacteristic of the green and white.
Knicks will be back on the foul line. Bill Cartwright specifically to shoot 1 more free throw.
Doesn't the electricity and the excitement feel so good here tonight? I mean, it's just beautiful for the NBA.
It's a great rivalry, Boston and New York. Bird, King, a lot of talk about who should be the MVP. Bernard won it for the players' vote in Sporting News. There are a couple of other ballots yet to go. Bird led the Celtics in every statistical category except rebounding and block shots. Now, what does that mean to a team?
He's just a consistent player in every phase of the game. He got my vote because of his consistency from day 1. And I think ultimately in the ballot by the sports writers and people across America, he's going to be selected as the MVP. That's just my gut feeling.
Cartwright 10 of 10 from the foul line, and the Knicks have a 7-point lead. Dennis Johnson working on Williams. Puts it up. Can't get the roll. Dennis Johnson simply has not been able to do anything offensively. As Bird comes up with the steal to Parrish down court. Working inside. He misses. And here come the Knicks the other way. From behind, Henderson blocks it. Racing to the other end. Bird's the trailer. Henderson the left hand. Bird gets the board. Blocked by Chuck Robinson. Now King trips DJ. Bird gets it back.
It's wild, Roger. It's hysterical on the floor.
Dennis Johnson can't buy a hoop, and it's off Bernard King. It'll be Boston basketball with 3:20 left to go.
Very sloppy play, but it's due to the great effort and the tremendous hustle on the floor.
Dick, Dennis Johnson, 1 field goal and 4 points in this game.
Dennis is not a good shooter, but he does so many other things on the floor. He scores mostly off offensive rebounds and transition. He's not a good perimeter jump shooter.
Cedric Maxwell is checked into the game, and McHale is going to come out. Daryl Garrettson wants another towel out to wipe up some of the perspiration. And Ray Williams and Maxwell pushing and shoving on the other side right now.
UB Brown,
Chuck Robinson laughing at the two of them.
UB Brown certainly happy to see McHale go to the sideline, but I have a gut feeling he's going to be back on the floor.
DJ, double team. The fall-away shot, he got it.
That's the kind of shot he'll score on, Roger. Around the boxes inside, post up, uses great size from the guard spot, but he's not what we would call a good range shooter from 17 and 18 feet.
3 minutes left to go, 92-87. Knicks leading the Celtics. Chuck Robinson has not scored tonight. Could this be his first 2? Blocked by Bird. Dennis Johnson is hammered by King. Foul on Bernard King, and that'll be his 5th. So Tucker, Williams, Cartwright, and King all with 5 fouls.
That's not the kind of execution that UB would like to see on a floor. They go to a guy, Chuck Robinson, as you mentioned, hasn't scored a basket. We're at crunch time. There's Truck. There's the block by Larry Bird. The great play. And now there's the collision, the contact by Bernard King on Dennis Johnson. And it's amazing that Dennis is not a good long-range shooter, yet he's an excellent free throw shooter.
He has always been in the top 10 throughout his career with Seattle and Phoenix.
Shoots 85%.
And he misses one. Celtics are now 29 of 42 from the foul line. That's right at 70%. Misses them both.
Can't believe it. And he shoots 85% for the year. Larry Bird's an 88% shooter. UB Brown giving a fist, cheering his team on. Knows this is a big, big possession.
Looking to Cartwright. Sparrow wide open will take it and hits it. Rory Sparrow with 13 points.
And he lays a high 5 on Bill Cartwright. He says, that away, buddy. Way to deliver.
94-87. 2:20 left to go. Maxwell back outside, but a whistle underneath. 3-second violation called against the Celtics.
KC is calm as can be on the sideline. He's been through it before. He played on a number of winners. Intensity, emotion, all of the adjectives to describe UB Brown on the sideline.
Technical foul called on Cedric Maxwell. And Ray Williams will go to the line to shoot it.
KC's certainly a player's coach. Players just love playing for him. He gives them great freedom to execute and do the things they do best. I haven't heard an unkind word from a player about Casey Jones all year.
95-87 now. Knicks will inbound it with 2:14 left to go.
They're going to use quite a bit of that 24-second clock with each possession. Run it down as low as possible.
Henderson knocks it away. And the foul is going to be on Sparrow. In the last game, the Celtics had 14 steals. Dennis Johnson and Henderson, 9 of those 14. Henderson's very quick, the best athlete on the Boston team. He showed you his ability on that play.
He does a good job in the backcourt, anticipates well. New Jersey's backcourt does a great job. And you talk about stealing the basketball, and guys like Richardson and Birdsong and Darwin Cook.
Henderson's 1 of 3 from the foul line tonight.
Celtics will jump into the full court pressure once they convert these fouls.
They are just 5 of 14. Make it 5 of 15 in this period.
KC's certainly shaking his head. He can't, you know, a coach can't put the ball down for a player. I'm not trying to, I've told you many times, there aren't any bad coaches, they're just bad players.
Well, they had missed their last 5 until Henderson knocked that one down.
There's pressure on a basketball by Henderson, utilizing his quickness, putting pressure on a basketball.
1:50 left to go, 7-point New York lead. Parrish knocks it away. Dennis Johnson will bring it down floor for the Celtics. Knocked out by Ray Williams. as Williams doing a good job coming from behind to strip the ball loose. And the Celtics will take a timeout with 1:42 left to go. They trail the Knicks by 7. And we'll continue with more NBA playoff basketball here on ESPN after these messages. Schwabel, Dick Vitale back with you. Madison Square Garden in New York. Game 3 of this Eastern Conference semifinal series, which the Celtics lead 2-0. But the Knicks on their way to do a pretty good job. Here's some of the action down below.
Bird gets good inside position. There's the block. Now we're going to watch the loose ball in the hustle. Look at Bird's quick reflexes. He has such great reflexes. Reverses the ball to the wing. Dennis throws up a brick. He's a bricklayer tonight. He's a member of the Bricklayers Union. And the ball rolls out of bounds.
Well, Bernard's got those middle fingers on both hands taped together. And consequently, anything like that, kind of a soft little ball down around his knees, and he's got some trouble holding on. As you saw, Boston just one time out. New York 3 and a 20.
Boston has to start to think of some three-point opportunities.
Bird with a shot and in. Bird now with 24 points.
He's like that queen that rises to the top. He's always tough at clutch time, winning time, the last 3 minutes of the game.
95-90, 5-point New York lead with 1:22 left to go. And guess what? They go to King. Blocked by Maxwell. Ball hit the side of the backboard. No foul on that, but it will be New York ball. So that's a break for the Knicks. 5 seconds now to get a shot off.
Look at the intensity on Brown. I mean, he's just coaching on every maneuver and every possession.
Henderson steals, but Sparrow gets it back. Big shot there by Rory Sparrow. He's got 15.
Big opportunity for the Knicks, and they make the most of it. Sparrow delivers under pressure.
Parrish from 12 and in. Robert Parrish. Parrish with 21 points, and it's 97-92, just over a minute left to go.
Celtics have to take a little chance now and gamble a little bit defensively. There comes the double up. They got to gamble. When you do that, you're leaving a guy open, and the Knicks are going to have to recognize the open man.
Bird's on Ray Williams right now. And in.
One-on-one play by Ray Williams. We talked about it. He's at his best when he's allowed to just have the freedom to play and create on the floor.
Bird, a three-pointer. Won't go. Truck Robinson gets it. And they spell victory now in New York with the Knicks leading 99-92 and 30 seconds left to go.
Well, the Knicks do what they had to do. Win in their own living room. This is their living room. And the fans in New York absolutely delirious, going wild and bananas.
16 seconds left to go, and Cartwright is fouled on his way to the hoop.
We see a lot of emotion on the Knicks sideline.
Well, this place rocked out tonight, and Sunday should be more of the same. Cartwright got him off to a good start, Dick, with 14 points in the opening period. That sort of established the tone of this game.
It was good for the Knicks to establish some balance offensively rather than just operating on one cylinder in terms of the play of Bernard King. Remember, not to take anything away from the Celtics play in Game 2, but the Knicks played without Ray Williams.
Celtics hitting just 6 of 16 free throws in this final period. Henderson, three-pointer, and King the rebound.
New York, New York, as Frank Sinatra sings, the place goes wild.
I don't hear Sinatra. Is he here?
Sinatra's always here in my heart. He's my favorite, my Faison.
The New York Knicks win Game 3 of this Eastern Conference semifinal series. Final score from Madison Square Garden in New York. The Knicks 100 and the Celtics 92.
Just a great play by the Knicks on both ends of the floor. Tremendous execution offensively, defensively. The Celtics helped them out just a little bit on their poor effort on a free throw line.
Final score once again. The Knicks win it 192 for Dick Vitale. This is Roger Twibell from Madison Square Garden in New York. We'll be going back to the NBA tonight right after these messages.